Good evening, everybody. Hello, my name is Jesica Lindor. I'm an educator and I'm a teacher influencer. And welcome to Career Pathways Virtual Symposium. Today we are having, today our focus is with Benjamin Franklin Institute of Technology. Today we will discuss their program offerings, enrollment, and also the life of a BFIT student. So before we can begin, let's make sure we thank our partners. Thank you to the NAHP for providing this platform. Thank you to our partners, Chocorella, College, College Cafe, and Book It Right Accountancy. So it is with great pleasure that we announce today's speaker, Calvin Conyers. Please tell us your role here at BFIT and one of your favorite quotes.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Calvin Conyers. I'm the Associate Dean of Admissions and Recruitment, Chief Enrollment Officer. One of my favorite quotes is actually from Benjamin Franklin. It says, "Tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn." And that really speaks volume to the education that we provide. We provide a hands-on curriculum, and I'll talk a little bit more about that during my presentation. But that's a quote that really resonates with me because a lot of people aren't these traditional audio learners. They're the visual learners wherein they have to be involved in order to really grasp what they're learning. So that's one of my favorite quotes.
That's a good one. I'm not sure if I heard it before, but I like it. I'm gonna incorporate it into my everyday thinking. So, with that being said, we're excited to engage with you all. If there are any questions that pop up, feel free to submit them so that we can answer them. And let's get it started. So, why is BFIT the place to be? What makes it stand out?
Benjamin Franklin is a hands-on technical and trade private two-year college, and we offer some bachelor degree programs. I think one of the things that really stand out and makes us unique is the fact that we offer the hands-on experiential learning. So, as I said in the quote, involve me and I learn. So we have these hands-on labs wherein students aren't just sitting in lecture halls being talked at and read chapter 1, test on Friday. It's more of an interactive type of experience where they're learning material, but then they're going into the labs and actually putting those putting those theories to practice. So for instance, we have a automotive program. Students will read up on things that they need to do, but then they will go to our automotive lab, which is a live garage where we have cars where they can actually do the hands-on work.
So that's amazing. It sounds like students are learning about the theory, but they're also putting it into practice because they have this hands-on experience.
Right. And I think that's the thing that really, we attract a different type of student. The student that may not have been looking at college, but they know that they're good with their hands, or the student that says, I know that there's a high need for trade and technical skill positions across the country. Those are the type of students that we're typically attracting. But then it's also educating because a lot of the programs, a lot of people that look like us don't really grow up thinking about, and there's lots of money to be made within the trades and technical field. So a lot of it's educating too.
So tell us more about your student population.
We're actually considered a minority serving institution, which basically means we serve about 74% of our students identify themselves as students of color. So when you think about the average college, you're typically, if you're not looking at an HBCU, you're typically looking at a, predominantly white institution. So when you have these other colleges like us that fall into the minority serving institution, when we start to think about the population that we're serving, the community that we're serving, it sort of makes them feel a little bit more at home knowing that there are people on campus that look like you, that can possibly relate to some of the experiences and life adversity that you may be going through.
Oh, definitely. There's that familiarity there. So there's a sense of community.
Correct.
So tell us more about the programs that you offer. at Benjamin Franklin Institute of Technology?
Yes, we offer a lot of certificate programs. We offer some of our certificate programs run between 8 to 12 months. With those certificates, these are industry. These certificates will get you into the industry at most entry level positions. A lot of our certificates lead into pathways that go into our associate degrees. So students have the ability to pretty much go into our certificate, and then after that year, if they want to continue, they can go into their associate degree. Um, One of the things that I like is the fact that we have, industry partners. So when you think about certificates, I know there's been a bad stigma about um, 2 year colleges or associate degrees. Everyone is talking about the 4 year bachelor degrees. Um, but when you take it a step back into the certificate, a lot of the programs that we offer, the certificate is the standard for that specific industry. And the thing I like about the certificate programs is the fact that the certificates, you're doing all of the technical courses, so you're not taking any English courses, any math courses. You're really just taking the technical courses that you need in order to be prepared for the industry. And one thing about our curriculum is it's influenced by our industry partners. So you're learning exactly what you would need to know day one in the industry.
So it sounds like you're getting all that hands-on experience. So that's amazing.
That's
So,
yeah. Mhm.
so tell us more about the partners that you work with. What are some of the companies that you've partnered with?
We have we have industry partners for all the programs that we currently offer. We currently have a 85% career placement rate, and 99% of our students have a next step. So when I say 85% career placement, that's students that are being placed in the program that they studied full time. We're not considering the part-time people or people that got a job at the mall or the gas station. We're talking about career focus within their job. 85% of our students are placed within their program within the 6 months of graduating. Um, and then there's another 14% of those students that have a next step. So they're either furthering their education, going into a bachelor degree program, or doing some type of apprenticeship to continue their studying. Um, the industry partners there's a laundry list of industry partners that we have. I'll be ashamed to go and miss some of our larger partners, but I think that the placement rate really gives you an idea of how we're closely and we work. We have a great relationship with the industry and partners within all the programs that we offer. One thing I like about Benjamin Franklin is we don't offer any programs that aren't in high demand. So when you think about the recession, I'm sorry, not the recession, but you think about the pandemic, over 30 million people lost their jobs, over the past 2 years. The programs that we offer, people are still getting jobs, so even last year's class and the year before, our placement rates didn't drop off because people were still, no matter what, you still need electricity, you still
Right.
need your car, you still need HVAC, you know, um, you still need your glasses made, your contact lenses. So um, a lot of the products and the things that we take for granted that we don't even think of are, the careers that we're offering and fostering here at Benjamin Franklin.
Well, 85%, that's an extremely high placement rate for any industry. So how tell me more about how you ensure that students are successful after they graduate. What is the advisory? What does that process look like? How do you ensure that students are successful after they leave your doors?
Right. So we have a model where every student is assigned an academic advisor, which also serves as their success coach. So their success coach will meet with them. they're pretty much their go-to person while they're a student. So they help them with their classes. If there's life adversity that goes on, we deal with the inner city, the urban population in Boston. So we know that there's life adversity when you think about, transportation, food insecurities, homelessness. These are real life issues that we deal with. So, the success coach is pretty much their person to, advocate for them and help them with that transition. We deal with about 2/3 of our students are first generation students. So a lot of them seek the knowledge, or they want to know, they don't know where to go. They don't know what you don't know what you don't know, right? So
Right.
the success coach really serves as that backbone support system for them, so they can pretty much transition and not fall through the cracks. With that model, the success coach, like I said, they also serve as their career advisor as well. So we have career fairs on campus where our industry partners will come on campus, and students will fill out applications. Some students will get hired on the spot. It's not uncommon that most of our students have jobs the day of graduation, full-time jobs the day of graduation. I think that's one thing that really just gives students, it gives them encouragement, right? It's they can see the light at the end of the tunnel, especially when you're not telling them that they have to go to school for 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Our average starting salary after 1 year is $42K. So excuse me, when you think about the traditional college experience, that's typically the average that students are looking to graduate and typically start. When you go to a 4 year, when you go to a 4 year school, they're looking at between 40 and 50K. You're like, okay, that's a solid start. But we have students pretty much doing that after 1 year, based upon the programs that we offer and how high demand they're in.
Knowing that you have a job right the day of graduation day, it definitely takes the pressure off. You definitely walk differently as you're getting your diploma. That's amazing.
Definitely. And it's amazing to see students that are first generation students, who families either migrated, here, and their hopes were to provide a better opportunity for their family. So when you think about students like that, and you know their story, and you see them walk across the stage, those are the opportunities that I love to see, and I really enjoy. It makes me really just know that I'm in the right profession and I'm doing the right thing. Being able to provide that type of access.
So are any of your partnerships with alumni from BFIT? Do alumni come back to partner with you guys and help other current
Recruit
students?
students, yeah. So we always have panels where we bring in alums that are currently working in the industry. That brings realness to, or it brings the realness to the programs that we offer. So I can sit up here and tell you all the, paint a perfect picture, but when I bring back someone who just graduated last year or 2 years ago, and they say, hey, look, I was in high school 3 years ago, and here I am, 21 years old, I'm making 60K, I'm already in my profession. Those are real life stories that come true, and students see that, and then they can actually see themselves doing that. So we really try to involve our alums with those type of messaging, some of the testimonials, to really encourage students to pursue these careers.
So it's amazing to have people to vouch for the different programs that you guys offer, and it's amazing that the alum are still an active part of the community.
And to piggyback off of that, the alums, let's say you graduate from Benjamin Franklin and you're in between jobs, you can always come back to Benjamin Franklin and work with the Career Service Center to see what job offers and what type of placement we can do for you. So after you graduate, it's not a all right, go on and handle the real world and forget about you. It's not uncommon that an alum will come back and say, all right, I'm considering changing careers, or I want to change my job. I'm looking for, a better position. can you help me with that? That's not an uncommon conversation for us. And I think that that's something that the alums definitely love.
So it sounds like this village does not end on graduation day. It's a long-lasting village.
Yes.
So, well, how do you ensure that? Tell us more about women and the Benjamin Franklin Institute of Technologies. How does it position women to be successful pioneers in technology?
So we have a group on campus. I'm happy you brought that up. Women only make up about 16% of the leadership positions in the tech fields. So we have a women in technology initiative that really just focuses in on educating women about the opportunities, and there's scholarship money to bring more diversity to the workforce. Um, a lot of women see some of these programs as male dominant, ill. No, I don't want to go into it. It's not for women, but a lot of our employers are looking for women to diversify their companies. So when I say women are in high demand, we're pretty much throwing money at women to pretty much have them complete these programs, because the job outlook for them is, I mean, it's endless, you know. And that comes with just, you know, people opening up and realizing that you need to diversify your company in order to bring in more innovative ideas. You know, you can only go so far with one set of minds, right? You know, so I think that people are starting to adapt to those changes and realizing that, you know, diversifying the companies definitely provides better outcomes.
So definitely having a diverse and inclusive staff is definitely a wave that I'm seeing in careers now. What other scholarships do you guys offer?
We offer a lot of need-based scholarships. So based upon student needs, um, one of our mottos at Benjamin Franklin is we try not to let money be the reason why students can't attend. Um, our financial aid model really, you know, if a student has a zero EFC, which basically means based upon the information that they provide on their financial aid, the government basically says that the family cannot contribute anything to the education. For those students, their tuition is usually covered with our financial aid. Um, that's a plus, because you know most private colleges, or most colleges in general, especially when you start to think about living on campus, there's usually a $15,000 to $20,000 gap that students have to pay annually, you know, to attend these colleges. Now, granted, we don't have residence halls, so you know students would have to commute on and off campus. But that's one way that we cut back from students having to take out a lot of these additional unnecessary loans. You know, and I think that that's something that a lot of people get confused with when you hear loans, and people automatically think that loans are bad. You know, there's the federal loans, then there's the private loans. The private loans are typically the loans that people take out after their financial aid kicks in and there's still a large balance that's left over. Um, those private loans accumulate, and you have to take those out every year. You know, so you hear, like I said, the average is about $15,000 to $20,000 at any 4-year school that students are typically taking out per year. So you add that up, you're looking at, you know, between, you know, $60,000 and $80,000 in private loan debt. And that's the debt that a lot of people talk about when they say they have student loans. It's not really the federal loans, it's the private loans. You know, so I love to provide, you know, financial literacy about that, because people hear loans and they're, oh, no, 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 no. The federal loans is a part of everyone's financial aid. Students can opt to take it or not, but it's the private loans that you want to really try to minimize, because those usually have high interest rates that, you know, typically will have you paying back loans till you're 65.
Right. Right. So tell me, so say if I'm enrolled in BFIT, so tell me about what is a typical day as a student look like? How might that change from like freshman year to maybe senior year?
Well, it all depends on your program. We have a cohort model. currently. So, some of our programs are day programs, some of them are night programs. Um, right now, because of the pandemic, we're still in the hybrid model. So we have our lecture classes are taught online, and all of the lab classes are taught in person. Um, so, a typical day would be the student coming in, and you you won't necessarily have a day full of lectures. There would be some type of interaction. Typically, every day or every other day, you have some type of interaction with the with some of your technical and trade courses.
And I guess my question is for, say, if you are a senior, will your day be more focused on having hands-on experience with the industry that you want to be in?
And and like I said, it really depends on the programs because, like I said, some of them are just a 1 year certificate, some may be a 2 year associate degree. So you may have an internship opportunity. Um, a lot of our internships are paid internships. We know that we deal with a working population. Most of our students are paying, helping with their family with bills and things of that nature. So there's a lot of flexibility with that. Um, so it really depends on your major and what program you're going into. But I would say that last semester is usually a lot of work with our career service. So we're doing a lot of resume building, a lot of mock interviews. We're bringing in employers to interview students. We're really our main focus for students that are in their last semester is to place them. Like I said, we're at an 85% career placement. We want to get to 90 sooner than later. So that's really our focus, really just trying to find out what are the students' strengths, what are their weaknesses, what is the best placement for these students.
All right, so talk to me. So you mentioned that you have mock interviews, you have resume building. What have been some of the testimonials from the alum? Have they found this helpful? How did that position them to be in an industry that they enjoyed?
I'm sorry, can you run it back?
Sorry. I said that you mentioned that you, for your career building, you had students do mock interviews, you had them do career building. According to your alumni, how did that help them as they entered into their career of choice?
The most common feedback is we help them build confidence. And I think that's the biggest thing, that one of our biggest accomplishments, especially dealing with first generation students. They tend to, and first generation students are, for those that don't know, are typically, are students that are the first to go to college. Their parents, their siblings, no one in their family has a college degree or attended college. So that's what we refer to first generation students. When we think about that population, and 2/3 of our students represent that population, it's really that confidence that we want them to leave with. That you're making the right decision, you're in the right place, and when you leave here, you're gonna be so confident that no one could tell you no. So it's really just nurturing them, being their backbone support, challenging them at the same time, but also letting them know that it's okay to fall. Like you learn from some of your downfalls, right? The biggest thing is actually learning from when you make mistakes, and that's part of the whole just nurturing and helping them grow. So from the time they start, like I said, they'll be with a success and academic coach that will be pretty much really pushing them on to really get them to that level of confidence, so they can actually maneuver and just go through life without feeling the need to lean on anyone.
And definitely that confidence is what really helps people break through doors and just really go after what they want. So that sounds amazing. So my next question to you is, say if I had any other questions about enrollment or about the programs, what would be the best way to get in contact with you?
I would say through email. If you email me at Conyers at bfit.edu, which should be shown on the screen. That's the best way to get in contact with me, especially being that, some days are remote. Our website is www.bfit.edu. And that's a great way to pretty much go online and just take a peek at some of the program offerings that we have, and really just get familiarized with some of them. Opticiry is a program that we have that not too many people know about, but we have a 99% job placement rate with that program. We're the only school in the state that offers the program. People say, well, what is opticiry? Opticiry is pretty much the people that work at Vision Works and lens crafters, but they make the contact lenses and eyeglasses, right? There's a high need. The only other way students can get into that industry is by doing a 4-year apprenticeship. So we're the only school in the state that offers the associate degree. So it's either us or the 4-year apprenticeship. More than half of our students have a full-time job offer after the first year because the demand is just so high. But that's a program that we really try to educate a lot of people on because not too many people know about it, especially if you don't have eyeglasses or a family member in that industry.
So you're getting students right into the door. No need for their apprenticeship. They're right in the door.
Right in the door.
Wow. So thank you so much for talking to us about Benjamin Franklin Institute of Technology. Again, please email Calvin Conyers if you have any questions about enrollment. Now it's time to transition to our commercial.
I'm so proud to be Haitian because just everything about being Haitian is just awesome.
Everyone know about the history of Haiti, first Black independent country in 1804.
Understanding the history of Haitian people, you can't help but be proud of the accomplishment that have happened.
Haitian Americans have done really well in the past few years. There's still a lot more work to be done. Only about 20% of us actually have a bachelor's degree.
I understand firsthand some of the challenges that Haitian American students, graduates, and professionals have faced.
Some of them have overcome incredible adversity.
Both immigrated or asylum seekers or refugees.
There are not that many Haitian-focused scholarships, but like any other award, the NAHP Leadership Award is providing recognition for one's hard work.
As we know, college is expensive, so this scholarship fund provides the chance for a brighter future.
It felt like the universe was speaking, like I needed the money, I was intrigued, people were telling me to apply.
Going to college or graduate school can be very, very expensive. So donating to a scholarship like this would help that expense be more manageable.
Future generation of leaders, scholars, entrepreneurs,
young adults that are trying to make something of their lives.
They are rock stars. They just need the help, and they need us to help them accomplish it.
There's like this Haitian proverb that says, "Mais en pile chat palu," many hands make the load lighter.
Log in and you can donate $10, $25, $50.
It makes me think of the Malcolm X quote that education is our passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. It makes me happy to know that our organization is contributing to that goal, preparing others for the future.
All right, so we are back, and now it's time to get some questions from the live Q&A. So the first question is, can someone hire a teacher to do the homeschooling for you?
I'm sorry, can someone hire a teacher to do the homeschooling for you? I'm not too sure what the homeschooling... Not too sure what that question is asking. So if I'll take a stab at it. If we accept students that are being homeschooled, so you don't necessarily need a high school diploma, but you need a high school something that's equivalent to a high school diploma. So we accept the GED, the high set, as well as the your traditional high school transcript. So if someone is being homeschooled for high school, we do work with those students as well. I hope I answered the question.
Thank you. Now it's time for our next question. So, do you sometimes feature other teachers for your children to hear different perspectives?
So we have workshops where we have the department chairs talk about the programs and the outcomes to give more specific information about, what they'll be learning and some of the outcomes. Like I said, a lot of these programs, a lot of students have never heard of. So it's more so, educating them and informing them of what they'll be doing and the job outlook and some of the outcomes that they'll receive based upon them, completing the program. But we do have sessions. We do have virtual sessions where the where the professors actually provide the Q&A and do sessions similar to this.
Thank you. And for our next question, would you do bilingual education with your children? If so, is that hard to do in the homeschooling context?
So I think this is pretty general outside of college. Would I do bilingual education? Currently, I have a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old, and my 6-year-old now, she's in first grade, but her pre-K was in a bilingual setting, so she was learning English and Spanish. I think that's something. I mean, you want to have your marketing advantage when you enter the workforce. So the more fluent and the more languages or just anything that you could do to set yourself aside from the next applicant is definitely a plus. So she's 6. She doesn't speak Spanish fluently, but she can have basic conversation, to an extent. And I think that that's something that we're planning on building, because I think that that's just, Spanish, English, Creole, the more languages the more marketable you'll be. A lot of jobs are looking for translators and people that can speak to different audiences, not just the English population.
Thank you. I totally agree. The more languages the more marketable you can be, but also the easier it is to relate to other people.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that was our last question from the live Q&A. Thank you again so much for talking to us about Benjamin Franklin Institute of Technology. Before we head out, I just want to say thank you to our partners as well. Thank you, Brooke. Thank you, Chocorella. Thank you, College Cafe and the Book It Right Accountancy. And also thank you to the NAHP for providing us with this platform to discuss career pathways and Benjamin Franklin Institute of Technology. We hope to see you at the next virtual symposium. Have a good evening.
Thank you.